Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Factorio. We have got a lot of nuclear fuel here backed up, and I think I was going to have, one big train release party, but I think before I do that, one thing that I want to do is go ahead and get the fuel train going, because we are going to need fuel at the spots whenever it's time to go. Okay, so I think all the stations are named, so we are going to add the refuel station. Inventory full. We are going to add refined fuel. Inventory full. And I'm trying to think if I want to make it to where it goes out, comes back, goes out, comes back. I don't think that's necessary. I mean, I think on the first run, it's going to go to the second station and not have enough, basically, but as it goes into the loops, I think this is going to make more sense, just to make one big loop instead of branching out to each individual one and coming back to base. So we will do that, and then you will stop by smelt fuel on the way home. Okay, we don't want full cargo inventory there. We want empty there at refinery. Empty refinery or inactivity of like 5 seconds. That sounds reasonable. Okay, so it's going to come here. It's going to wait till it's full. That is going to happen all the time. Refinery, it's going to sit there and wait till either it doesn't have any more inventory or 5 seconds have passed without unloading anything, because that means that the station's already full. And then it's going to move to smelting and do the same. And I don't think we have any other refuel stations. I think those are our two big ones. I think it is. We've got some stations that have not been named, and we will address that here soon. Okay, so I think that's good to go. I'm going to actually start coloring these. Let's make it green to signify that it is the refueling train. And yeah, let's just send you on your way. And you can go ahead and get all of the all of the stations with fuel. Let's see, we got rocket fuel in you. I don't want this in my inventory, but I would like a chunk or two of nuclear fuel, and oh wow, I got a lot of it. That's fine. We are going to reverse this and see how fast we can go reverse with this, because it's lined up with this passageway right now, and I don't want to lose that. Okay, so I made some changes in the base in between episodes. A couple of hours have passed since the end of the last episode, and I'll tell you kind of what I've been doing, right? So, first off, whenever I was trying to line up these bases that we set up here, and the trains are just an example, but the bases we were making for the module things, I had these beacons offset. Now, there's some little thought in my mind that there is a reason why you offset the beacons, and I don't know why it is. It is not, however, for this situation right here. So basically, these have the offset beacons. These have the beacons that are set up. This one, you can see, let's see, crafting speed 400%, crafting speed 400%, crafting speed 400%. I mean, they're exactly the same. That's the point that I'm getting at here. There is no advantage to doing that. I wish I knew what that offset was for. It's from something. It's from some setup that I've done in the past, or something where that made sense. But where I'm getting to with that is that I completely read this. Oh, and we're going to have to go up there because I didn't put radar in here. Oh, and there's all my stations that are not named. We need to go and fix those. But long story short, here we can kind of tell right here. I basically made this a lot more organized, where the beacons are all lined up. It made it look a lot nicer. And secondly, there was a comment on one of the videos, like whenever I was setting up the mining thing. I've just been plopping down bot miners. I haven't really been thinking about it. I have bots, I have miners, so let's go ahead and do that. But the comment was on the energy usage of bot mining. And every time I've used bot mining in the past, I haven't really thought about it, you know? But, so let's go back here. Let's go to 10 hours. So I ran a little experiment, right? We're going down here. If you look at this pink line right here, you can see that this is where everything's kind of idle. There's a spike right here. That's when the bot mining really kind of started, whenever we set it up. And right here is where I did my experiment, where I had all of our bots going. And just look at that. Shoom, way up here. And then I kind of came back, and then I did another experiment, and it came back. You know, it's just, and now it's back down to reasonable levels again. Now, this little spike right here, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if there's a way. I haven't really moved. Maybe, will that show up in the last hour? No. But you can see it. If you follow the pink line, this is where it's back down, and then there's another little spike right here. That is just one mine. That right there is just one bot mine that's going. That spike right there. And it's not even doing mining, it's doing something else. But the point I'm getting to with that is that that's a lot of energy to be spending. So what I did is I did some crazy things. I basically converted the coal mine back to just regular miners. And what I had done is, yeah, and I need to go and redo this as well, because the old station's still here. But I made these kind of buffer things where they're basically storage chests that have huge buffers on them. And this was just to drain out all of the chests that were here and all of the chests that were in the station. And basically, I hooked that up to belts. Now, we're going to buffer all this stuff out, and at some point, I'm going to have to remember to take these buffer chests out and then move it to the actual coal lines that are coming out. But that one is all set up. I also did the same thing down here with the copper mine, and you can't see it because I didn't put radar in. But we'll go down and check that out for in a second, because I need to go down and hook that up. And I also hooked up this one and ran a long bus into a large balancer. I think we're going to have enough copper at least for a little bit. But that's all belt converted. And this one right here, I am not completely done yet, but I basically switched it over to a belt setup as well. Okay, this is all actually drained out now. I had a whole bunch of storage chests. They all got moved up to the buffer. That is to that, and this is good to go now. So we're going to have to go and finish some of this stuff up now. Boy, I was really wanting to get the trains kind of launched and running and get stuff set up. But I think it is important that we stop and observe our sins of the past and go back and correct those. The only exception being this nuclear setup here with the Covarex. I looked at it and noticed that we are running extremely light in the supply department. And rather than go and fix it correctly, like I should be, I think we need one hack, right? We need one hack going in the base at all times. So we're going to correct some sins of the past, but this was the one that we just can't let go. This is the one we just can't let go. I mean, it's working. It's working fine. We have a full backed up, well, half a line. We only have half a line. But, I mean, it's working. It's working. It just needs a little bit of maintenance every now and then. There was a suggestion on things we could do with the new priority splitters, the filter and priority splitters, and I can think of a whole bunch of ways we could implement that. But, yeah, I mean, this whole setup was made before those were actually put into the game. This was pretty much already there whenever those were introduced. And I mean, it's working. It's working. We're just gonna ignore this. We're just gonna completely ignore that. We'll address that in a future episode. All right. So I think I've got everything loaded up here. Let's go and visit Mine Iron A first, and let's get that all straightened up. I do want to kind of finish these up a little bit and get them set up and ready to go, and also at the same time look at some of the station signaling, because I was at the copper station down below looking at the signaling there and going, this isn't right. So I do want to go ahead and look at that and make sure that that is in a good shape before we release all the, we have the big train release party, basically. All right, so I'm going to move into manual mode and just kind of pull up here. That looks good. All right, so the old station, bot station, which is right here, is now done. We do not need it. Okay, and that is going to knock off power to the whole base. And that's fine. Let's go ahead and remove all of these old storage chests. And we don't need the roboports anymore. These are all done. And it's going to give us like a bajillion robots. So we probably need to... Oh, I've got engines. I've got all this stuff in here. Let's get rid of stuff. Don't need the beacons. Don't need that. Don't need all the robots. We do, however, need some power. That hooks up all that. Everything over here is nice and hooked up. We can put one right there. That'll get the station hooked up. Station is named. All right, that looks good. Let's take a look at the signal situation. Do I have signals? Chains. Yeah, we got plenty. All right, so this is... I don't think that any of this is signaled. Okay, that signal starts right there. So let's put a signal there and maybe a signal right there to wait. This is the station. We'll put a signal out. We don't have any intersections or here. This is just a turnaround, so I don't think we really need... I would like to put one right there, however. In case we have two trains, we don't want them to wait any longer than we have to. All right, and I think that is good. Let's see. These buffers are currently emptying out. I don't have anything taking them, so they probably are going to get to a point to where they don't have anything. Let's go ahead and just remove all this stuff. It is no longer needed. You guys are no longer needed. Another thing of note is that I have used so much raw materials in this. The hidden savings of the bots that you don't quite realize is basically how much a belt costs, right? How much how much you use a belt. Because if you're doing something belt based, there is a cost associated with that. Don't be mistaken. We have used a lot of belt. We've used a lot of belt. We've used a lot more inserters. We've used a lot of underground belt. Lots of things. Now, why can't I take this stuff? Okay, there it is. Okay, but even with all that, I think that we are in good shape here. All right, let's go to the coal mine now. And, well, actually, since we're here, let's go ahead and take a look at the plastics and see if there is anything that we can improve there. I just want to check the signals and everything at the station. All right, so this comes in here. We don't have any signals down. Okay, that's the signal. Well, that's fine. That's fine. And these are regular signals coming up. They look good. Chain signals on the way out. We just want to make sure we don't have any signal. Oh, we have an unsignaled station here. Let's get that taken care of. And yeah, let's take that off the block as well. Okay, and you need a signal on the out. You need a signal on the out. That good? Do. And up like that. That looks good. I think I'm happy with that. Okay, I think I've made some pumps, right? I think I finally did it. I finally did it. We have pumps. Okay, so... Oh, we already had this set up. Okay, I'd forgotten. Do you have logistics bots? You do. You have unloaded. You are full of fuel. Why do we have the whole thing here and only a little there? Let's take care of that. We have fuel up in these guys. We do. All that looks good. All right, this is ready to go. Just need coal and iron, and we have all those things. And I think this one is good to go. All right, let's go to... I don't have a station set up for coal. We'll manually drive. Try not to hit any trains. Good news is I have ran the base for a couple of hours, and we really haven't had any attacks that have caused damage. We've been able to thwart them all. Whenever I was expanding the copper station down there, we were getting some attacks. That I had to run all the way back down there a couple of times to go and add more defenses because I wasn't really thinking about defense. But it looks like it's all in a good, manageable state right now. All right, so copper trains coming in, or coal trains. If you haven't noticed, I like to mix up coal and copper. It's like one of my favorite things to do. All right, this thing is not signaled at all. So let's get a couple of signals set up. This is not technically a station. That is just a holding pin. And let's see, we already sucked up all the bots out of it. I don't know what we're gonna have to. I don't know what we're gonna do with that. We will find something to do with it at some point. But let's get that signaled, and we have an out. Okay, I think that'll be good. This is named Mine Coal 1. We took this station out. I think this is all good to go. These things are blinking, but it's just because we do not have any roboports. I'm wondering if I do want to set up some roboports just to drain out these whenever these buffer chests empty. I do want to do that. I don't think we need to do it now. We can go ahead and clear out these stack inserters though, because they are definitely not needed and can probably be used somewhere else. All right, that one's looking good. Okay, let's just manually drive down to the module factory, and I will let you take a look at that. See the changes that I made. I didn't put any defense there either, which is something that we probably do want to address. Okay, stackers coming in, going to chain signals. Looks pretty good. Yeah, so you can see that these are all lined up now and look a lot better. Look a lot better. And we've got these up here and this one up here. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, let's make some modifications here. Let's switch this one. Boy, that would have been tragic. Just make sure. Okay, that's the speed modules down there. You are a 3, and it's really hard to tell what you're making. You're making 1s. So you are going to be a 1, and you are going to be a 1, and you are going to be a 2. Two. 2. Yes, and you are going to be a 3. You are going to be a 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. Too far away. 1, and that should be it, right? Boy, it's really hard to see what's being made there with those module missing markers in the way. Right, and you are not set up to use modules, and I don't have any. Have to remember that. I'm totally not going to. All right, none of this station has been set up yet, so I don't think I'm going to worry about doing signaling or anything like that. That will be like one of the last things we do. Oh, and boy, that is annoying. All right, let's move to smelt building and take a look at that station. Make sure that the fuel and everything is running on that one. Everything's so far away. That's one of the things I've been noticing, especially like if you go all the way down to the copper mine, and which is way down here, and forget something, have to go back to base. I mean, base is just right here, but you have to go all the way around, and the distance is a lot long. This nuclear fuel is Really, really good at that. Okay, so we don't have that. Why don't we have that? No fuel here. It is in Roboport range. Ooh, there's a problem right there. Huh. Boy, I hope that's not in the blueprint. I'm sure it is. It's not like I went and manually messed that up, right? Okay, so... Yep, it is. There it is right there. So hard to get a good blueprint. Always some little problem in it. Okay, I think all this looks pretty good. Now, we are getting fuel here. We do have fuel. It's just not going to the chests. Because there's no logistic robots in the system. All right, that makes total sense. Okay. Let's get that taken care of. Let's see, I think we put 10 in the refining one. I don't know, maybe we'll put 20. $25? I don't know, it seems excessive. But they'll get busy doing that. All right, let's take a look at signaling coming in. This is a standard right here. This looks like it just needs to be in its own block. These look like they need to be in their own block. And you need to probably be a chain signal, so you can decide between which one. That'll leave this open if this one is closed. Got a signal on the way out. You do. Don't think that needs to be a chain signal, but it'll certainly work. Okay, and we got that intersection. That is fine. If this one is blocked, it doesn't matter what that one is. This intersection's blocked. It's just blocked. Chain signal, though, because any one of these three can be open. That is right. That looks right to me. Same thing for you. That looks good. And I think regular signals up here make more sense. Because there's only one block. We're not looking ahead to any signal. An intersection, same thing here. Chain right there. That looks all good. Chain right there looks good. Coming up. Yeah, these don't need to be chain signals. Those need to be regular. Coming around. This is all one big block. Might break it up just for fun. All right, it looks better. Looks a lot better. I think this one is pretty much ready to go. We're missing beacons, of course, in a lot of our areas. All right, and we do have fuel here. That is good. Mine copper 1. Go to the last one here. Now, the mine copper 1 is not completely finished yet. We do have... Right, 1, it's not powered. And 2, I don't think all the buffers were empty. Or all the buffers were filled up. I think we might have some chests that are still... No, I think I got it. I think we did get that done. I think we may be missing miners. Maybe that's what it is. We will find out here shortly. Okay, I need to manually shut that down. Okay, and we did have the little middle one coming through here that we did have for our building train. I had to take that out because this wouldn't fit. I mean, it just barely fits right now, and I actually had to take off these belts at the end and just do the splitters. I'm hoping these guys can actually grab stuff from the splitters. You know what? Let's just find out. Put you in a requester chest, whatever. And take this like that. And find something. We'll do wood. Okay, it's not powered. That would explain some things. Okay, yeah, they can pick up from the splitters. All right, just wanted to confirm that. So this should be fine. Actually, these right here are unnecessary, so we could make this more compact, but it's fine. So yeah, this is basically the way I have it. So we have this mine down here coming in. The mine that is way over here is coming in, and this one up here. Now, I loaded all the copper into these buffer chests, and yeah, it was just miners. So all the copper that was in the mines is now in these buffer chests. We are going to take these out and take them into this 32 belt balancer, and until they're drained, and then once they're all drained, we can hook up all these miners and get them into these open spots on this balancer. Balancer seems excessive, and actually, as I was looking for one, the Reddit post on which I found this, the very top rated comment was like, why on earth would you ever need that? Well, this is why. This is why. You have two trains that can take in 16 belts, and you want to distribute all your ore evenly amongst them, right? You break them into two groups of 16, and it just works out great. It is excessive. It is unnecessary. I love it. I love it. I can't wait to get all this hooked up and see all this just crazy amounts of copper coming in. It's something I'm looking forward to. All right, and we will probably get that done in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And yeah, like, don't be afraid to point stuff out, like the electricity usage. You know, I don't know if it was intended to be, hey, what the heck are you doing? Or if it was just more of a question. How much power are you going to be using in that? But it got me down this train of thought. It was something that I think we would have been fine. I think we would have been just fine as far as power usage is concerned, but just looking at that spike in the graph, just solely for 3 mines, I didn't want to do that. All right, thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.